Few animals are as familiar to humans as the cow. It appears in fields, on roadsides, in stories, religions, economies, and daily meals. Its image feels ordinary, even mundane. And yet, beneath this familiarity lies one of the most profound relationships ever formed between humans and another species. The cow is not simply an animal we use. It is an animal that shaped who we are. Long before cities rose and borders were drawn, early humans lived as hunters and gatherers, moving with the seasons and following migrating herds. Among the animals they encountered were large, powerful wild cattle, ancestors of the modern cow. These animals were not passive. They were massive, aggressive, and dangerous, capable of defending themselves against predators and humans alike. The decision to domesticate cattle was not inevitable. It was risky, but it changed everything. The wild ancestors of modern cows, known as aurochs, once roamed across Europe, Asia, and North Africa. They were taller, stronger, and far less tolerant of human presence than today's cattle. Over thousands of years, through selective breeding and gradual coexistence, humans transformed these animals into something new. Smaller, calmer, more manageable. The modern cow emerged not through force alone, but through a slow process of mutual adaptation. Domestication altered the cow's body and behavior. Horns changed shape, aggression softened, reproductive cycles became more predictable. In return, humans gained a reliable source of meat, milk, hides, labor, and later, cultural symbolism. This partnership allowed human populations to settle, grow, and build permanent societies. The cow became a foundation. Physically, the cow is a marvel of biological engineering. Its large body supports a complex digestive system designed to extract nutrients from grass, a resource most animals cannot efficiently use. This ability is due to a specialized stomach divided into multiple chambers, the most famous being the rumen. Inside the rumen lives a vast community of microorganisms. Bacteria, protozoa, and fungi work together to break down cellulose, converting tough plant fibers into usable energy. The cow itself cannot digest grass. It survives because it hosts an entire ecosystem within its body. This internal partnership mirrors the external relationship between cows and humans. Survival through cooperation. Cows spend much of their lives eating and ruminating. They graze, swallow quickly, then later regurgitate partially digested food to chew it again. This slow, deliberate process maximizes nutrient extraction. It is not rushed. It is not wasteful. It reflects an evolutionary strategy built on patience and efficiency. Despite their size, cows are not simple-minded. Their intelligence is often underestimated because it does not resemble that of predators or primates. Yet studies have shown that cows possess strong memories, emotional awareness, and the ability to learn from experience. They recognize individual humans and other cows. They form preferences. They experience stress, curiosity, and comfort. Socially, cows are deeply herd-oriented. In natural or semi-natural conditions, they establish stable social hierarchies. Relationships matter. Individuals form bonds, often preferring to rest and graze alongside specific companions. Separation from familiar herd members can cause measurable stress. Communication among cows is subtle but constant. Vocalizations vary depending on context, expressing distress, anticipation, or contentment. Body language plays a major role. Ear position, head movement, and posture convey information within the group. To an attentive observer, a herd is never silent. Reproduction in cows reflects the domesticated history. Humans have heavily influenced breeding patterns, selecting for traits such as milk production, growth rate, and temperament. In natural conditions, reproductive behavior follows seasonal rhythms, with females giving birth after long gestation periods to relatively large, well-developed calves. A newborn calf can stand and walk within hours. This ability evolved in response to predation pressure. Mobility meant survival. The bond between cow and calf is strong, reinforced through vocal recognition and scent. Mothers are attentive and protective, especially in early life. Predators once played a major role in shaping cow behavior. Wolves, lions, and other large carnivores targeted cattle ancestors, selecting for vigilance and group defense. Modern cows retain these instincts, even in landscapes where predators have disappeared. Sudden movements, unfamiliar sounds, and isolation still trigger fear responses rooted deep in evolutionary memory. Ecologically, cows are powerful agents of change. Grazing animals influence plant composition, soil structure, and nutrient cycles. When managed responsibly, grazing can support biodiversity, stimulate plant growth, and maintain open landscapes. When mismanaged, it can lead to overgrazing, erosion, and habitat loss. The impact of cows on the environment is therefore not fixed. It depends on scale, method, and intention. Human interaction with cows is unmatched in its depth and complexity. Cows have been worshipped as sacred beings, used as currency, symbols of wealth, and central figures in mythology. In some cultures, they represent abundance and life. In others, they are seen primarily as commodities. The industrial age transformed this relationship dramatically. Mechanization, mass production, and global demand turned cows into units of output. Efficiency increased. Distance grew. Many humans today consume products derived from cows without ever encountering the animal itself. This separation has consequences. Modern cattle farming raises difficult ethical and environmental questions. High-density operations prioritize productivity but can compromise animal welfare. Methane emissions contribute to climate change. Land use pressures forests and wild habitats. At the same time, billions of people depend on cattle for nutrition and livelihoods. The cow stands at the center of one of humanity's greatest dilemmas: how to sustain ourselves without destroying the systems we rely on. Conservation discussions increasingly include cattle, not as wild animals to be protected, but as forces to be managed wisely. Regenerative grazing practices, improved welfare standards, and dietary shifts all represent attempts to rebalance the relationship. Yet even within these debates, it is easy to forget the animal itself. A cow in a field is not thinking about economics or emissions. It is responding to sunlight, grass, the presence of others. It is following instincts shaped long before humans learned to farm. Its calm demeanor, slow movements, and steady gaze reflect a life adapted to predictability and routine. In moments of quiet observation, the cow reveals something easily missed. It is not passive. It is attentive. It is aware. It exists within a web of relationships, both biological and social. The cow matters not because it is rare or wild, but because it is fundamental. Few animals have influenced human history as deeply. Fewer still continue to shape our present and future so directly. To understand the cow is to confront our own story. Our rise from wandering groups to settled civilizations. Our ability to cooperate with other species. Our responsibility for the consequences of that cooperation. In open grasslands, where cattle still graze under wide skies, the old rhythm continues. Eat, ruminate, move with the herd, rest. The pace is slow. The cycle repeats. It is a reminder that not all power is loud. That some of the most influential beings on Earth changed the world simply by existing within it. The cow is not just livestock. It is legacy.